Education must change. There's one thing we've learned in this pandemic, it's this. It's the reason Rallim was started, not the pandemic, but to redesign education for the future of our children and to better prepare them for careers and jobs that don't yet exist. Hi everybody, I'm Colleen Miller, the Executive Head, and I'd like to extend a very warm virtual welcome to everyone, old and new, who has joined us today. Today is another Rallim First, and we're very excited to host our first ever online Flyby Open Day. So for those of you who don't know us, let me give you a brief taste of the Rallim story. In partnership with Garden Cities and with great excitement, we opened our doors in January 2019 with this breathtakingly beautiful modern learning environment designed by award-winning architects, Studio Mass, who actually won an award for our building, coupled with a talented and passionate team of hand-picked and forward-thinking edumentors and staff, as well as the most supportive group of amazing kids and parents. And what a year it was, with many firsts. Some highlights included our legacy project, where our founding families had the foresight to see our vision for educational change and planted trees as literal and metaphorical representations of forever being embedded in the history of Rallim, to our first sports days and fixtures, to our many varied cultural showcases and robotics competitions, to our community-led hucksters markets, even to our first Grand Prix Go-Kart Championship. What a year! Our quest to change the educational landscape was further seen this year, with our vision resonating with many new parents, thereby doubling our numbers. And we were so happy to have our wonderful new families join the Rallim community. This obviously led to the need to speed up the development of our facilities, and so 2021 will see the opening of our floodlit Astro Hockey Field, as well as an additional 14 flexible learning spaces and specialist hubs, such as a digital fabrication studio, a production hub, meditation zone, entrepreneurial spaces, and collaboration hubs for our grade 8 and 9 students. Further developments in about 2 years' time will include the construction of another building behind the tennis courts for our secondary faculty students, a multi-purpose hall, as well as an aqua centre. In addition to this, Garden Cities continues to develop the Berkshire Boulevard precinct, and the construction of their music centre in partnership with M&M Music School, as well as a planned sporting centre, which will be established on the land next to our sports grounds, will all add to the sense that Rallim will form part of an exciting and dynamic educational hub in the Sunningdale area. Further to this, we are committed to remaining relevant by staying abreast of current trends in education, with dedicated research staff with many thought-provoking conversations and exchanges with different thought leaders both locally and internationally, such as school leaders and founders who are at the forefront of international approaches, and locally, the heads of Thought Africa and Think Ahead, to name but a few. We are also members of the Independent Schools Association of South Africa. So we are so proud of what we've built and continue to build, and we would love the opportunity of sharing with you on a one-to-one basis our vision for the visual, auditory, and pedagogical redesign of education for the 21st century, in which we focus on the unique talents of each and every child in the Rallim family.
Hey, hi everybody. Wow, what an intro by Colleen. It gives me chills watching that video. I think in a time when things are feeling a little bit bleak in this country, that video is just so inspiring, and it's wonderful to see like the bright future and wonderful opportunity our kids have at Rallim. So welcome, I'm Kate Shepherd. I am, exactly as it said in the video, a very, very proud Rallim mom. I am not being paid to say these things. I'm here on my own accord just to welcome you and just be a little bit of a voice of the parents for the day. So thanks for joining us and welcome. I know it's a Saturday morning, so hopefully you're getting to enjoy this online at home with your family. It is an online fly-by open day, a one of a kind, really interesting and unique way that Rallim is going to present this to you today. That there's such a unique idea, I just love it. So I actually was watching that video of Colleen, I must say, and I was thinking about the first time I ever met her, and it was on this couch in her offices, and she was just so warm and so welcoming, and our 1-year-old was absolutely destroying her office, throwing her beautiful vases all over the place, and she was so calm, and she was just a wonderful human. So the people at the top here are just wonderful and kind and such female boss ladies, so absolutely love it. And come rain or shine, we will do this. And I just want to say thanks to everyone who's tuned in. Don't forget all the normal live things. Please comment, ask questions. We do have Q&As later. So please do ask both our edumentors, we've got kids, people from the different sort of specialist areas, so please put your questions up so we can answer them for you. So welcome to our online day. I think first of all, we're going to run through a little bit of an agenda for you, just so you know what's coming up and so you can kind of plan and understand how we're going to present it to you. So basically, obviously, I am your host. Please shoot questions. I'm going to try and keep track of any questions that you shoot to me, so that's awesome. We're going to speak first off to our admissions crew. They're amazing. I've got some great stories about them. So we'll start with them. We will then move through and speak through the different academic sections and the different hubs that we have within Rallim. And then to the sort of specialist hubs, the different special areas of sports and culture and technology. And following that, we'll have different sort of Q&A sections within that. So like I said, shoot the questions through, and then we'll ask the kids. So I think that's going to be important as well, is asking their sort of feelings on their amazing journey at Rallim. And then finally, we'll get a little bit of a talk through with some of our other parents. It's not just my voice, you don't just have to take my word for it. We will ask some others as well. All right, so I think we're going to look forward to chatting through to the admissions crew, and just a wonderful, wonderful group of ladies who are doing a super, super job here at Rallim.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
And I'm Kalia.
And we are the admissions team. At Rallim, we are all about the children. Our focus is to ensure that the admissions experience is welcoming and efficient. We are passionate about meeting new families and guarantee that the start of your Rallim journey will be heartfelt and engaging.
There are many avenues to Rallim, such as our websites, on social media, or a phone call. Our executive, Colleen Millar, will meet with all potential families, and we offer a guided tour of the environment. Should you wish to take the next step, our application form is available on our website for your convenience. We look forward to the opportunity of meeting with you soon.
So the first time I contacted this school was for my eldest child, and it was just the simplest and quickest and most wonderful way to deal with sort of a transition from a very loved preschool. And they just handled it so well, and I thought it was a fluke. And then recently, even during this pandemic, when it is so manic and everyone is a little bit all over the place, trying to get my second child into this school, and it literally was processed, it was swift. They're so caring and considerate even behind the emails, you know, it wasn't just you're a number in the queue. So they really handle you with care from the very, very beginning. So it really was such a swift and lovely, easy process. They're doing a great job. Okay, so academics, a little bit more now about what you'll find in the school and the edumentors, and yeah, take it away.
I'm Kim Truebody, Head of the Pre-Prep here at Rallim. At Rallim, we are inspired by the Reggio Emilia approach, which values each child as a strong, capable, resilient, and rich with wonder and knowledge. Imagine a learning environment where children who naturally see the best in things, love unconditionally, and see everything with new eyes could create their own learning opportunities. What a wonderful place a school could be. Taking these ideals at heart, we strive to create an environment where every child can flourish, feel special, and valued. As our children are unique and have varying interests, we have included multiple activities into each day in order to appeal to the varying interests of our children. Our activities include investigations, provocations, rebuilding, creative time, mindfulness, sport, and outdoor play, as well as a keen focus on the social and emotional development of each Rallim child. Every developmental area of our children is guided and facilitated by keeping the approach at heart. However, we also strive to equip our children with the skills and knowledge necessary for them to succeed as they progress to grade 1. By laying firm foundations in literacy and numeracy, we set them up for success. Our edumentors are involved in group learning experiences as facilitators, documenters, and resources. They carefully observe and track the growth of each child. Opportunities for creative play, project-based learning is largely based upon the interests of our children, which are carefully aligned with the acquisition of concepts and skills. The flexible learning spaces and ateliers are referred to as the third teacher. Great care is taken to construct an environment that allows for easy exploration of various interests. Learning is visible, shared, and enjoyed here at Rallim. Documenting how children think or what they are thinking about, or how their thoughts are leading or influencing their learning is a vital aspect of our approach. At Rallim, we use this form of documentation as a tool in guiding our lessons and our children's learning, as well as creating the environment that they influence. Our observations impact our planning, as well as our assessments and reports, and give our parents a little glimpse into the day of a Rallim pre-prep child and possible conversational starters for their children. Our documentation includes photographs of the children at work and play, along with dictations of their experiences, thoughts, and ideas. At Rallim, every child matters, and we go the extra mile for them to reach their full potential. Hi, I'm Michelle Gilder, and I'm the Associate Head of the Prep here at Rallim. The junior prep is a very successful and busy part of Rallim, with ambitious kids who have achieved a fine reputation for success in the classroom, on the sports field, for music, art, drama, and dance. We believe in holistic education, where each kid's unique qualities are celebrated. Excellent teaching and learning is at the very core of academic success in our phase at Rallim. Our educators are adaptable, forward thinkers who research best practice and implement new and exciting ideas and methods with ease. We encourage lively debate and questioning minds. We believe in the Singapore maths method of pictorial representation of mathematics, which in turn stimulates problem solving and critical thinking. And we make use of a variety of reading schemes and platforms to meet each child's needs, as well as interests in literacy. We immerse children into second language by celebrating not only the spoken word, but also the cultural diversity of French, Mandarin, and Afrikaans. With the recent pandemic crisis, it has given us the opportunity to showcase our immense teamwork, creativity, and resilience. We have tackled the challenge with optimism, and we have ensured and maintained the quality of our teaching, which we are renowned for, using platforms such as Zoom and Seesaw, checking in with individual kids on a regular basis, and allowing our children freedom to express how they feel. The Chinese word for crisis is two symbols, one of danger and one of opportunity. We have turned this crisis into an opportunity in our junior prep at Rallim. We have seen creative geniuses emerge from within our kids and our staff.
We are very proud of our learning environment, and we never take for granted how incredibly blessed we are to be a part of this Rallim family.
Hi, I'm Wendy Hindle. I'm the Senior Associate Head here at Rallim Prep. We have adopted the Socratic approach in the senior prep when introducing new topics to the students. Socratic questions range from why does the earth tilt and why do we have different seasons to why were Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi also known as teachers and soldiers? The students then use their competencies, skills, and the resources provided by the edumentors, as well as articles, websites, interactive ebooks, and YouTube clips to begin the inquiry and to answer these questions, and at the same time to build on their prior knowledge. Teaching and learning simply cannot be passive, and therefore we foster collaboration, critical thinking, and problem solving in this process of authentic learning at Rallim. As much as possible, we accommodate the various learning styles of the students, and we teach them how to use their specific learning style when solving problems and working with resources. Visual learners are accommodated by exposing them to images, charts, videos, and diagrams. Auditory learners are given the opportunity to listen to podcasts, have discussions with their peers, as well as read texts aloud, whilst the kinesthetic learners, who need to use their bodies and all these senses, make use of manipulatives, 3D objects, art supplies, markers and crayons, and movement to engage their bodies in making meaningful connections. Interdisciplinary experiences consisting of both history and geography with English integrated, this disregards the old methods of teaching in silos and instead combines subjects using cross-curricular integration. The dynamic use of technology in this blended approach is a mechanism designed to meet the needs of our students entering the 4th and 5th industrial revolution. Our Rallim kids present their understanding on their iPads in a way most comfortable to them. This could be in the form of a presentation, a podcast, movie clip, animation, or many other ways, as long as the criteria of each task are met. Our flexible learning spaces facilitate masterclass teaching and breakaway spaces. The Accelerate and Reteach programs provide opportunities for some children to consolidate concept whilst others are extended, creating a personalized timetable for each student. Assessment occurs naturally and throughout the learning process in the form of independent studies, with examinations only starting in grade 7. This approach is proven to lower anxiety levels and thereby increase engagement. Putting children from 14 to 15 schools into one class at the beginning of a year should be a recipe for chaos. However, engaged and happy children whose learning styles are catered for are motivated to acquire new skills and to learn new concepts. And this is what we have witnessed at Rallim as we continue to enroll children from families who seek this type of change.
Hi, I'm Charlene van der Westhuizen, Associate Head for Secondary Faculty here at Rallim. It is with great delight that we will open our doors to the start of our high school. This is an exciting adventure that lies ahead, and we are sure to ignite future-ready students with the tools and skills to conquer the world of work and live the now with pride. The students will follow a phenomenon-based learning pedagogy where we look at real-world phenomena as the starting point. We are asking big questions as the phenomena are studied as complete entities in their real context. The information and skills related to them are studied by crossing the boundaries between subjects. This means that we will integrate subjects and allow students to discover new knowledge. Students will be able to create passion projects, working on topics and ideas which interest them. Students will have the opportunity to develop the skills that they love and further discover new potentials. Skills workshops will be offered by experts as well as our in-house edumentors. These workshops will have a main focus on developing different 21st century skills, as well as having a fun element, creating and making objects in our own design studios and makerspaces. Part of our curriculum will be aimed at sustainability goals, where we include the community, bridging the gap between all stakeholders. Our inner engineering program will be built around mindfulness and creating a stronger me with the potential of growth into confident individuals. Our learners will work on independent learning programs, giving the students the opportunity to excel where they know and to relook where they still need to discover. We will include new exciting subjects like animation and global awareness. Our outlook is to give students the opportunity to get involved in internships with businesses, to have conversations with experts, as well as to creatively innovate whilst consolidating solid knowledge in a certain fields of study. The word is freedom. Freedom to discover learning and skills for myself whilst collaborating with peers with like-minded ideas. This is a fluid and ever-growing experience where learning is hands-on, relevant, and we are truly redesigning not only education, but the person as a whole, ready for the global changes with which we are faced.
Oh man, what power women. Such incredible leaders and edumentors. And I just think, you know, I was looking at those women and I was thinking how they're so welcoming. You know, not only the experience when you walk in here, they don't just know, you know, the teachers don't just know the name of the children. All of the staff know the name of the children and greet them each day. It's been quite amazing in the back to school process, how every day you see all the edumentors out there helping your children out of the car with big smiles on their face in the rain and in the dark. And it's just such a welcoming, warm feeling to have. And it's great to be in such a special place. I'm so sad that I'm the only one sitting here in this wonderful place today, but thanks for joining us online. We're gonna have a little Q&A with those special people. So if you have your questions, please shoot them through. I know a lot of our comments at the moment seem to be love that's coming through, which is amazing, but please shoot those questions. I have seen the sports questions that have come up, which we'll get to a little bit later when we chat to those specialist hubs. But yeah, over to you.
Right. Hi, everybody. This is the forum discussion, the Q&A session for the academic component. The tech is coming a little bit later on with the specialist hubs, so we'll leave those questions for there. But thank you very much to Kate for the warm introduction and for all of you for joining us. I think one thing that I'd like to just comment on, which perhaps we need to talk a little bit more about, which I think is a key differentiator, whilst we wait for some questions to come in, is the fact that with our Accelerate and Reteach program that Wendy spoke about, I'd just like to detail that a little bit more. So with the Accelerate program, what we do is we timetable all the math, for example, at the same time from grade 3 to 7, so that if a child is, hypothetically speaking, in grade 5, but is actually grade 6 maths level, they're able to attend the grade 6 maths lessons, okay? So that is extension in the true sense of the word. The children aren't just getting another worksheet, or they're not just becoming bored in class and demotivated, etc. So that for us is a timetable nightmare to actually logistically do, which Wendy and the team put together. But it really is something where we are extending the children in the true sense of the word. If a child isn't at that particular level, say in grade 5, of course they don't go back a grade. We merely do the reteach program that Wendy mentioned there as well, where we consolidate the concepts and skills that they need to acquire. So for me, that is key. The same with the learning styles that Wendy was talking about, because all of this references how each child is unique and how we adapt according to the uniqueness of every single child. So if we look at the learning styles from grade 1 upwards, we actually do a learning styles baseline assessment on the child so that we can adapt our teaching methodology accordingly. Furthermore, we also do study skills workshops based on the learning style. So you'll have a kind of aesthetic approach in terms of studying, and then obviously visual, auditory, and so forth. Okay. So we see some questions coming in. So Okay, so how are children with learning challenges accommodated? Wendy heads up the academic support team. So Wendy, if you'd like to answer this question.
Thanks, Colleen. I think it's important that the approach is based on the fact that every child is unique and that every child learns differently. And I think a lot of children with challenges are challenged because of the fact that they are tar brushed and all taught in the same way. So our edumentors approach the children according to their learning styles. And if children need additional assistance, then we'll go into that through our reteach program. Obviously, we can't cater for very specific learning challenges, but as far as the norm goes, we will do our level best to reach every single child. I hope that answers the question, Mrs. Miller.
Thank you very much. All right, I see another question going on to homework. So, Michelle, if you'd like to answer homework in the junior prep, and then Wendy in the senior prep. Before Michelle starts, I'd just like to state at the outset that actually we don't adopt a no homework policy as some schools do, because I reference the fact that each child is different and they're not all at the same level. So some children need consolidation and others need extension. After Wendy's spoken, Charlene, if you could just reference grade 7 and up as well, just briefly, because of the approach that's adopted in that particular phase. Michelle?
So thank you. Thanks for handing over to me, and welcome everybody who is watching. I think what we must remember is that reading is the most important part in my phase. So we expect that children would read every day, and if you want to call that homework, then so be it. However, we call it learning. So they would be reading to their parents, and perhaps a little bit of math that the teacher may have sent home, but obviously also vary. So not everybody would be getting the same maths every day. And obviously our edumentors know our children very well, so they know who needs a bit of extra and who doesn't. And I think that's what we expect. We also love to do flipped classroom sort of work, where we might send a video that we want you to watch before you come to class the next day, or a story that we want you to listen to so that we can discuss it the next day. So that would count as homework for us in the junior prep.
Thanks. So in the senior prep from grade 4 onwards, we focus on relevance, not on mindless repetition, just to fill the children's afternoon. Obviously, it's a little bit different at the moment because our children in the senior prep come to school in the afternoon because we've got morning and afternoon school. So they do some work in the morning at home and then they come to school. But in a traditional sense, in the normal, that we've probably forgotten what that looks like, the children are doing relevant consolidation and research based on what is being covered in the classroom. We have a one-to-one iPad program from grade 1, which means that the children have a device at their fingertips that it's managed by our IT department, which will come in a lot more a little bit later. But by having that, the homework is, as I said in my introduction to the senior prep, it's pretty much when the task is set, the children can produce their presentation of their knowledge in a way most comfortable to them. And that's incredibly important because we don't set the same task throughout. It's reliant on how the children are comfortable. So the visual child, the auditory child, the kinesthetic child, they can produce it in various ways on their iPad with various apps. And the richness is just phenomenal. And of course, the teachers also see many different sides of the child coming through in the way that they're presenting their knowledge.
Hi, yes, thank you very much for that question. I'm currently running the grade 7s and then we'll head up to high school. So what we are building at the moment is the skills of the students. So they have a skills project. So they basically have an extra time that they build their skills, whether this is to learn more about mathematics on a Harvard level, or whether it is playing the guitar or learning ballet at home. These children have the opportunity to build those skills, and we do not always have the time to build those skills at school. We have the foundations, but then they have the opportunity to go home and further develop these skills, and that is then part of their homework per se, or just their free time. What we are trying to establish is the love of learning, work ethic, natural work ethic, so that it doesn't become homework, but a way of life, that we want to be lifelong learners.
Thanks, team. I see that there are other questions that have come through, so I'll just manage that. First of all, there was a question about international accreditation and entrance into university overseas, etc. And we're very excited in terms of the work that we're doing. Charlene in particular is very involved in this area in terms of when I referenced exchanges and communication with overseas thought leaders. It's exactly what we're doing at the moment to align not only on our national program, obviously, but with international accreditation as well. And that will be shared in the future with everybody. The other question was about tours and being closed during COVID. So we've got a hybrid model with part on-site and part online learning for those students who have aren't returning at this juncture. There's a very strong online program for the children at home and also an on-site program as well. We have a tiered approach, so we have some children coming in the morning and some children coming in the afternoon. So we are open as per the department. In terms of tours, what we're doing currently, of course, we're adapting and changing and pivoting, as everybody keeps saying, during COVID. And so what we're doing at the moment is we are doing virtual online tours because we have very strict protocols in place in terms of COVID. And so nobody enters the campus except for the students and the staff at this juncture. But as we always say, we adapt and change according to needs. So we're hoping that by the end of this year, we are able to have physical on-site tours, because we are well aware it's very difficult to choose a school without visiting it. You've got to get a feel for the ethos and the culture of a school. You've actually got to come in. It's very well saying we're happy here, but you've actually got to enter the building and hopefully feel that. So for us, that is key as well. There was also a question before I hand over to Wendy on the iPads, etc. There was also a question about cultural diversity. Our student and staff body need to reflect the population of South Africa, so it's something we're very conscious of as well. And in terms of the registration fee, there is a once-off registration fee that one pays at the beginning of the journey, and we are going to the fees for 2021 will be made available at the beginning of September with regards to that. So Wendy, if you'd just like to talk about the iPads, because there was a question about whether iPads are needed and at what grade, etc. If yourself, Michelle and Charlene can jump in, and Kim, please, actually, about COVID and the learning methodology and how we've adapted it accordingly. But I am mindful of the time, so if we can keep it relatively brief, that would be great. Thank you. And sorry, before you go on there, Kim, when you talk as well, I see there was a question about the pre-prep and prep spaces, okay? Are they shared, etc., and yeah, the utilization thereof, if you could mention that too. Okay, thanks very much.
Okay, so just briefly on the iPad, I see there was a question about do they require an iPad? So we are an Apple school. Our teachers use MacBooks and iPads, and our children use iPads from grade 1. The bottom line is you should choose one device for a school, and we've chosen Apple. So it's not the latest and greatest. We do allow, I think, the last 4 or 5 models, and we've got a minimum specs. But the beauty of it is that it's managed by a managed mobile device management system. We use all the Apple technology. As a school, we get educational software that's not available to the public that we may use in the classrooms. It's an intuitive device, and it suits the needs from grade 1 right up to, well, at the moment we're keeping it going into our high school, and we'll decide at a later date. So yes, we do require that. As far as the COVID concerned, our children use Google Calendar as their timetable. We post tasks and activities for them there, but we have live lessons every hour. so that they don't have a self-paced homeschool environment. They have the teachers that are explaining and teaching and having discussions, and then the application of the work is done in a way most comfortable to them, as I said, as long as the criteria are met. It's become it's a very, very successful system for us.
Yes, I think in the junior prep as well, we're using a platform called Seesaw, which we're very excited about. And we also offer the live Zoom each day, where the teacher is doing the literacy and the maths each day with the children who are at home. And the children at school have a device, and Seesaw is a really wonderful tool which integrates videos, voice, pictures, so the children can really use their learning style to send their work back to their teacher in whichever style suits them. We are loving that platform in the junior prep.
Yes, if I can just talk on the higher grades. On our side, we've actually found that COVID has bridged the gap for those shy children, because it makes the opportunity available that they can make a video and chat to a teacher that's not in a class environment. So we are actually enjoying and learning new gadgets as the edumentors as well, in how to assist our students. So yes, we are missing the physical contact, but discussions are still happening online, and yes, we are working around that. Just on the iPads, if I can mention, maybe in high school, that we do have laptops available for the children to use, that we will start utilizing when we go up to the high school.
And then in the pre-prep with COVID, obviously we're running an online and an on-site program. With the online, we have Google Slides that go out every week for the children, and with interactive activities with teachers presenting themselves and the concepts on a live video, as well as online Zoom sessions every day for our children from grade 000 all the way to grade 0. So we do a concept every day plus a live intro story, which the children can interact with their peers into the classroom. To touch on the question on the playgrounds, obviously Rallim has a lot of versatile, flexible hub spaces where all the children have access to all the playgrounds. Obviously with COVID, we are in line with our regulations and procedures. So obviously they're on a routine and sanitized and looked after from our children's side. Ms. Miller, there was a question about 000, a walk through the classroom. So obviously with our pedagogy being Regio, it's very much a day that is based on the child. It is centered, it is with the Reggio Emilia approach, where the children form the most part of the day. The activities are multituded in terms of creativity, art, music, isiXhosa lessons, a sport lesson every single day, which is a half an hour taken out by our coaches, including singing, dancing, and story time. So it's really much a play-based experimental learning for our 000s.
Thanks, Kim. And just to let you know that we start coding robotics from grade 0. We also introduce chess in grade 0 because we know it develops cognition, besides formal drama lessons and the SEE program. isiXhosa also starts from 000 as well. And as discussed earlier, French and Mandarin take place from grade 1, where they're semesterized. Okay, last question. Okay, so what case studies can parents look up to see what approach has proven success straight from pre-prep to high school? The Reggio Emilia approach is well documented. It's actually gained a lot of traction in Gauteng. It's been around for many, many years. So please welcome to look that up. And obviously the Socratic approach and the phenomenon-based teaching and learning approach has been adopted by Finland. As you know, we've referenced Finland quite significantly in terms of our approach to education, and they've been utilizing it since 2016. And as all of us know, they rank in the top 5 in terms of international results. I see that there were a couple of questions about sport, but if you don't mind, we'd like to leave that until the sports section. There's a specialist hub section, the sport, culture, and then the technology, and there's a Q&A after that. So we'll leave the sporting questions for that. The minimum spec iPad size and model recommended, there are several. And what we're going to, I don't know when to come in there quickly, I've finished, and then Yeah, come in and then I'll go on. Thank you.
Colleen, so the latest iPads on the market at the moment are always the iPad Pro, which is, it's very expensive for schooling, but so you don't need that. It's iPad 7 at the moment. You can't get an iPad 6 or an iPad 5 retail, but if you have them, you can certainly use them. So those are 3 years ago model, as well as the iPad Mini 4 and 5 and the iPad Air 3. So those are all in our minimum specs.
Great, thanks, Wendy. And then the last question before we hand over back to Kate, there was a question about applications for 000, etc. And you know, to be absolutely frank, we're not sure when you should apply because literally it's, you know, on a needs basis. So you know, if you are interested, I think the first step would be to obviously meet with us. At this stage, it's virtually, and then you can decide from there those personal conversations that you'd have with myself or the head of the phases to decide when you would like to apply after. That's probably the best way of doing that, I think, at this juncture. So I'm going to hand, thank you very much to the team. I'm going to hand back to Kate. Thanks, Kate.
Oh, that's super. Thanks so much, everybody. And if you do have any more questions, just keep shooting them through on Facebook for us. We will try to answer them in that chat, or we will get back to you afterwards. But thank you so much. I just want to reiterate one of those last comments, that online learning has been amazing. And they have just been so dedicated through this time to continue giving great quality education. So thank you to the teachers for all the effort they're putting in. And I know that there's a little bit of a question when I came to meet Colleen. A big thing for me was that this is such an amazing environment, such a unique, wonderful way for a child to learn. What about the future, and how on earth would they ever adapt to another kind of high school or system? And she said, don't you worry, there is a senior school coming. So that was very exciting. And I love driving here and seeing each day, even in this rain that's happening, how the building is going on next door. It's looking very exciting. So looking forward to the future. All right, now all those wonderful bits that really get you super duper excited, all the specialist details, we're going to hear now from our different hubs within the school.
Hi, I'm Gareth Knott, Associate Head of Sports at Rallim. So just a little bit about myself. I'm in my 15th year in education. 11 of those years has been in sport development and 4 in the classroom. I'm teacher qualified and have a degree in sports and exercise science. I've always had a passion for developing young athletes, and at Rallim, we offer a long-term athlete development strategy with 4 stages from pre-prep to high school. Each stage offers a unique focus that builds into the next for sound overall sporting excellence. The stages, if I may go over them with you, stage 1 at pre-prep level builds confidence for introducing the fundamentals. Stage 2 at junior prep level, we focus on the specific sport skills. Stage 3, senior prep level, is the introduction of healthy competition, and stage 4 is our secondary faculty where we specialize at sports. Our ultimate goal is to time the development of each one of our athletes correctly, to keep our athletes in the game and keep them active for life. In the summer, Rallim offers and in the winter, and finally, all year round, Rallim offers golf using state-of-the-art technology to perfect our learners' golf swing. on Fridays to end the week, we offer team sports academies for cricket, softball, rugby, hockey, and netball in season as additional sporting excellence programs at no additional cost. Our sports facilities at Rallim include 2 courts where we use these courts for tennis in the summer and netball in the winter. We will be including another 2 courts in the future, 2 cricket nets, which we will also be including another 2 in future, 1 rugby field to be joined by another full-size rugby field in future. And we're very excited about the Astro hockey field, which is in progress at the moment, which will be floodlit, and our very unique golf facility.
Hi, I'm Coach Corbin, or as the kids like to call me, Coach C. I coordinate the SEE program alongside Coach D for the pre-prep side. The program we run has 5 gross motor development modules, namely Phosphete, Muscle Vision, Strength and Fitness, Fun Flex, and Team Magic. These modules cover the fundamental fitness components while promoting sports and activity through fun. Our gross motor program runs during the school day, every day of the week, and is at no additional cost. And now for the pre-prep CE program, which is also run by myself and Coach D. The program is aimed at promoting and developing movement to complement our different sports, while building the confidence of each athlete. We focus on the components and the fitness needed for the youth development program, being strength and fitness, speed, agility, and endurance, along with flexibility. The kids at Rallim participate in the lesson once a week to ensure that they stay fit for life while having fun.
As you may know, it's inter-house. We at Rallim call it inter-clan. We have 3 clans, namely Berkshire, Deerhurst, and Coppin. Each of our learners are allocated a clan for our inter-clan sports events, which unites our school in sport and teamwork. And finally, in closing, Rallim Sport has developed very well in its short time. We have formed a number of teams who compete very well in the local school league. We are very positive that Rallim Sport will continue to go from strength to strength with its excellent facilities and experienced coaches. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michelangelo Clutie, and I'm the Associate Head of Culture here at Rallim Prep. The Rallim Cultural Department is a uniquely run institute which caters for the young artiste, consisting of handpicked national and internationally acclaimed mentors who approach the needs of the young performer based on their individual unique talents and pace of discovery. Dance, music, art, and drama are the 4 creative arts elements that integrate not only on a one-on-one interaction within the performance studio, but spills over into the sport and academic fields too. Based on the specific self-discovery needs of our students, Rallim offers a variety of private instrumental tuition, choral and ensemble training, various art, design and multimedia platform, and theatre of movement, dance introductory at professional level, and not forgetting the theatre of dramatic arts. Rallim Prep utilizes its stage as a celebration platform to showcase the developing artists in their true form, and this allows for their individuality and creativity to be exposed outside of the designated studio. The many celebration showcasing which Rallim and its creative arts faculty have produced in their first year have proven to be that of excellence. Thus, we fully support our motto, your creativity is your excellence. With the incorporative method of continuous introduction to multicultural traditions, old and new, Rallim is well known for our dedication to the arts, but most importantly, the dedication to nurturing and fully supporting the young artiste in its own pace of discovering their inner performer.
Hi, I'm Mala Naidu, the Associate Head of ICE Team at Rallim Prep. In the junior prep phase, robotics and coding fosters a culture of collaboration and teamwork, critical thinking, as well as problem solving amongst students during their Lego Simple Machines, Lego We Do Too, and Sphero Bolt lessons. Robotics lessons build on simple engineering principles whilst promoting an interactive scientific and creative learning experience. Students are also introduced to other coding languages like CodeSpark and Scratch Junior, where logic and coding concepts are enhanced. In the senior preparatory phase, Robotics and coding extends on the principles of coding and computational thinking from prior learning. The use of EV3 robotics explores the application of autonomous robots, which are built according to engineering principles to promote its functionality. Through the use of computational thinking, students learn how to solve more complex problems systematically. Students at Rallim are encouraged to advance their coding talent through participating in club robotics and mobile application developments. Extracurricular robotics allow for team participation into robotics competitions. We were very excited to have achieved second place in last year's Western Cape Regional First Lego League competition, which always lends itself to solving real-world problems. Coding lessons at Rallim are not only lots of fun, but they also inspire logic and creativity and encourage students to create solutions to real-world problems.
Oh, thank you, guys. Those really are the extra fantastic pieces, aren't they? I know when I came to look at the school and I saw that they would be doing robotics, and even my daughter in grade 0 is doing robotics. I thought, sure, this really is the future, preparing our kids for jobs and careers that don't exist. So very exciting. And I think as someone who wasn't particularly an academic myself, very much enjoy all of the cultural and brilliant sporting things here. And each one of those magnificent people are such experts in their field. So it's a very, very exciting team. If you want to hear, I know there's lots of questions coming through, especially on the sports side. Please send your questions. I think we're going to pass over now to the wonderful team to answer some Q&As.
Right, thanks very much. I think we're going to start with the sport, Gareth, because of the fact that there have been several questions about the Aquatic Centre. So perhaps you can take us through that. Before you do that, though, Gareth, I would just like to reiterate what I said in the introduction when I chatted, and that was the fact that Garden City is our partner. They have plans in Berkshire Boulevard to develop a sporting centre adjacent to Rallim, so across the green belt, which is amazing because it's going to give us the opportunity to further enhance our sporting facilities. In terms, I'm not sure exactly where that's going to be done, but it is on the plans, and I think there's going to be an athletics track along with cricket and soccer. So we're very excited about that. Besides Michelangelo, the M&M Music School Academy, which, as you can all see, is currently being built. And that's when I referenced an educational hub, which we're going to form a part of, which is really exciting. So, Gareth, over to you about the Aquatic Centre.
Right, good morning, everybody. And yes, as Mrs. Miller had said, we are not going to be short on facilities. It seems to be the popular question around the Aquatic Centre. And the good news is that, yes, Rallim has got plans to build a swimming pool and have an aquatic centre where then we will be offering swimming and water polo in the summer. So yeah, that covers that question. I did see there was a question earlier on as well with regards to what we offer in sports. So just to confirm again, it's athletics, tennis, softball, cricket in the summer, netball, hockey, cross country, rugby, soccer in the winter. We've got golf that we offer all year round. And then we also offer team sports academies every Friday. So I hope that confirms that question. Thank you.
Great. I think that's all the sporting questions that I've seen. But just to also, whilst we wait for some further questions to come through, just to reiterate that besides the academies of development and excellence that take place and the specific approach, what Gareth keeps a very firm eye on is the level of coaching, external coaches that we employ. And I say that because he's got very good relationships with a lot of sporting people in the area. And so we are very, very happy because not only do the full-time staff at Rallim need to be a certain level. And I always tell parents I'm rather biased because I'm part of that selection process, and I think that they are amazing. Besides having a love for children, they are obviously very good at what they do, and they are passionate and flexible, as we've seen with COVID. They've been able to pivot very quickly. But so the sports coaches, as well as in Michelangelo's department, the independent music contractors, the dance teachers, etc., they all have to be a certain caliber. And I'm very happy to say that we're very comfortable with the level in the different spheres in terms of that. Okay, I see here there's a question about redesigning education. So it's not specialist hub specific, but whilst we wait for more specialist hub questions, I'll answer that for you. So the concept of redesigning education was literally looking at the current educational model, which we know is based on, and I know I'm eating the same drum, but it's based on an education path, a century path, should I say. And so it produces a certain type of graduate, okay? And it's mass standardization, mass conformity, mass control. And that type of graduate is not going to be ready for the 21st century. And we need graduates that are adaptable, that are flexible, that are critical thinkers and problem solvers. So that was a premise, besides the fact that each child is different, that we started Rallim. And so for us, it had to be a complete redesign from the outset. And by that, we meant visual, auditory, and pedagogical redesign. And what we mean by that is that the environment, the visual redesign, has to align with the pedagogical redesign. The auditory redesign is, we believe that language frames thought and action. Okay, so when you come in, it's not a school, it's a modern learning environment. It's not a classroom, it's a flexible learning space. And the whole learning style, the pedagogy, for example, is seen in terms of even the classroom, flexible learning space furniture. So you've got movable chairs for the kinesthetic learner with a seat that's got elasticated, etc. So visual redesign. Reggio Emilia approach talks about the environment being the third teacher. One of the 21st century skills of collaboration. We've got glass throughout the building. So you've got that shared vision of teaching and learning. So that's where, and even with the accelerator and reteach class, you have flexible or movable classroom walls, glass doors. So you can allow for the flexibility with your accelerator and reteach program. So I'm going to stop there because it is more academically oriented. So I know that there are some important questions I'm sure that are coming through. So I'm going to just have a quick look here. Surfing. Okay, so is surfing going to be introduced, Gareth?
Look, open to it, always. I do believe that options are important to our kiddies. I think we're at a stage at this juncture where we need to first establish our team sports. So I'd like to maybe focus on that for the next few years, and then we can kind of look at opening up to other more extreme sports. So most definitely open to it at some stage, and obviously finding the right people to drive those codes.
Thank you. Thanks, Gareth. And they talk about, there's a question here, engagement in the specialist hubs included in the fees. So I'm going to let's start with you, Marla, robotics and coding, because that's often charged for in schools. Okay, it's a paid for facility. Moving on to you, Michelangelo, with your particular disciplines, etc. And then on to you, Coach K, the sport, what is paid for and what isn't, please. Marla, do you want to start?
Okay, right. With coding and robotics, so generally in not COVID times, we would be using the EV3 robot and the WeDo 2 to develop our coding ability, where the children are engaged in building simple engineering concepts, building a simple robot and coding it to perform specific tasks. During in the interim, with keeping up with reducing infections and making sure that we're still keeping up with the coding, we have been adapting in that we have been pursuing the coding amongst the different grades. So we are looking at different apps that actually encourage coding in not a stressful way, in fact, in a very fun way completely. So using, for example, lessons or levels, different levels from code.org, where there's simple building blocks that have to be levels to be completed. And at the same time, it caters for children on the simple level and intermediate and getting a little bit more advanced. What we've also been doing is we use other apps like from CodeSpark Academy, as well as Hopscotch, Tinker. So we've been adapting it. It's not just one case. In fact, I will be looking at working with coding structures like JavaScript and that in the very near future, and that is to cater for needs, because we have had some children craving to get into the actual computer science of things, even though we are in the prep phase. But as Colleen has said to you earlier, we adapt, we change. And as Gareth mentioned, we open to different things. So we basically keep up with trends and we exceed trends, in other words. So what we look at doing is how best can the child improve through computational thinking and exceeding through robotics and coding, but also keeping it very much fun and not a stressful thing for the kids to do. So yes, we are really enjoying the coding, and we're looking forward to exceeding in many more competitions in the future. Like you've seen, we've done really well in our robotics competition last year. And even though it was our first time entering, our kids totally nailed the competition. They solved problems. So it was from the project side of things, as well as the coding. It was an amazing experience, and the bonding and the learning from each other was absolutely incredible.
Thanks, Marla. So before the two more questions for you, and the one is about scratch coding, and then the other one was about parents, and obviously with parents feeling at sea at times in terms of their knowledge base. So just a bit about parent workshops, please. But before you start, there was the question, which I think with the buffering maybe Marley missed, is it paid for? It's not paid for. So coding robotics is part of the curriculum, and it is a co-curricular as well. Marla herself, along with the team that entered the Lego Robotics League, spent many Fridays and Saturdays at schools working on it. There's no cost involved. Okay, for us, it obviously must be a part of the curriculum. It shouldn't be a paid for facility at all. And Marla, as she said, introduced app development because our kids were showing such promise and such interest in terms of what they're doing. So very exciting. So Marla, if you just want to talk about the scratch coding as well as the tech for parents in terms of workshops, just briefly, because I know that we do have a couple other questions as well.
Okay, sure. Right. As far as scratch coding is concerned, yes, the kids in the junior phase use Junior Scratch on their iPad. It's an app. And for the intermediate and in senior, we have been using MIT Scratch platform, which lends itself to working on iPads as well as computers. So that is where we had lots of fun as well. In fact, the kids have engaged in many different activities with MIT Scratch, exploring the coding when it comes to sequential, repetition, conditional, decision-making, and so on. So yes, we have been using MIT Scratch platform. It's an excellent platform to use. It's free. And a lot of the basic up to more advanced skills can actually be experimented with there. With regard to lessons for the kids, it's part of our curriculum. It's all inclusive in school fees. There's no extra payment for that. In fact, when it comes to the advanced coding as well, that's also part of the program. There's no extra cost there. In terms of parent training and so on, so I've always been proud to see that Rallim has offered last year as well as this year training for parents, and we've had parents come in during the morning sessions on a Friday or on another day of the week, and where we were very happy with Wendy and Michelle to share iPad skills with you and might I add, free of charge. So something that I'd like to mention is we here at Rallim are a family. We look after each other, and we share skills with each other. So it's not about making money. It's about being together, learning from each other, taking us together, progressing towards the, for the future and for in a modern learning environment. So yes, we're happy to share what we have with you. And if you have any suggestions, we're welcome to that as well. And as far as training in terms of iPad training and skills and coding, well, I'm very open to that. So you're welcome if you're interested. Maybe we can do an online session now with the COVID times. But in the future, we certainly can look at more training with iPad in terms of skills for coding and that.
In fact, we've got a strong association with Think Ahead. So they've done a number of training sessions with us. They did a coding workshop with families online about a week ago. It's a great partnership, a strong partnership that we have with them too. I also forgot to mention that included in the fees are the costs for licensing. So just to bear that in mind as well, it's not, you don't pay for over and above, which often happens in many schools. So yeah, that's just something to think about. I'm going to quickly hand over to Michelangelo and to Gareth about the costing, please, if you don't mind.
Thanks, Colleen. So within school, we obviously have art, music, and drama as subjects, but for the extracurricular activities in preparation for our Setfords or shows, we do have extra costs, which includes the dance, ballet, acro dance, hip-hop, contemporary freestyle, and this goes throughout all the phases from 000 all the way to grade 7. We have instrumental tuition, including voice, so we have violin, piano, guitar. We have the little ensemble groups, which is orchestra, which is free. We have choir, which is free, both senior and junior. We have marimba, senior and junior, which is at a cost. And all of these groups, obviously, we pay for the showcases that we put on during the year, but also for the Setfords, which at this very moment, we are busy preparing for virtual Setford, which is the first of its kind. And so far, so good. Our specialists are absolutely amazing, whether we are at school or remote learning. We actually do offer a lot, including art, art society for junior and senior, drama as well with cast, junior and senior. So at different levels, our teachers and coaches are very flexible, and they really listen to what the kid actually needs. We're not about pushing and forcing. We're about how can you learn at your own pace, and how can you develop your talent when you're ready. So, that's what our department does, and that's what we do.
Thank you, Michelangelo. Just to reiterate, basically, in class music, what we call ME, the children are introduced to different instruments. So we buy violins for an entire class. Okay, so I think it's grade 4. Grade 4. We'll do violin because they're introduced to stringed instruments. Okay, and so if they have a taste, because obviously when they have SEE, what is called SEE, they're introduced to different codes, sporting codes. So it's the same principle for music. And we encourage them to take a musical instrument because it develops cognition. We know that, okay? But what we say in terms of the cultural department, for example, if we're not able to teach violin, for example, it's one or two children that will take it, it's a paid for co-curricular. The same with dance. I mean, any of us that try to dance, you might have seen an earlier video that we did, you can see that we cannot teach it. So it's a paid for co-curricular. And we've got 4 dance teachers with very different personalities. So we're hoping that your child will align with one of the dance teacher personalities and will take dance, for example. Besides the drama, we're very experienced Cass as a drama teacher who I've worked with for years as well, and art too. So that's just a brief synopsis. And before I hand over to you, Gareth, I see a question from Maya. Thank you, Maya, for this question. She says, what about a cultural collaboration with M&M Music School? I think that's a fantastic idea because garden cities is a part of that partnership, and they're a part of a partnership with ourselves, I really think that is something doable. Obviously, I haven't spoken to them yet, but I think that's a lovely idea. Thank you, Maya, for that suggestion. Gareth, over to you.
All right, so with sports, the paid for co-curriculars, we offer Krav Maga, which is a form of self-defense practice, mindfulness and yoga, as well as golf. And these are obviously all offered all year round by outside experts. And then, yeah, look, let me take you to the pre-prep. We've got 5 modules there that we run from a Monday to a Friday for half an hour, which focus on the fundamentals that are needed for gross motor development. And that basically comes at no extra cost. And then, yeah, all those sporting codes we've already gone through for summer and winter. There's no cost there, as well as our academies that are offered, our sport academies on Fridays. There's no additional cost there. And that's really just a case of in our sports department, you know, we want to take our sport seriously. We know the need for academies, in that what it does is, let me maybe just explain the academy structure to you so that you've got a better understanding. What we do, especially with the JP, we focus very much on skills, and it's important to build the confidence of these little kiddies so that we don't lose them a little bit later on when they get to the high school in burnout. So what we do is with our academies, in focusing the skills midweek, the academies, we kind of allow them to play. So that's grades 1 to grades 3, play matches, kind of focus very much on the sportsmanship around those matches, no competition, try and keep it as fun as possible so it's a positive experience. When they get to competition phase, which is from grades 4 or grades 3, well, starts, grades 4, where they join the local leagues, then what we do is we use our academy structure on Fridays more for the skill side of things, in that the coaches midweek prep these kids for those matches. So sometimes we can neglect the skills a bit, and we don't want to do that. We've got to keep those skills fine-tuned. So we use our academy structure then on the Friday to make sure that we kind of fill in the gaps. So that's the whole idea there.
Thanks, Gareth. And just to reiterate, in the most preschools, you pay for any sort of physical activity. But for us, the physical development at that age, well, and beyond, is as important as the social, emotional, and cognitive development of the child. And that's why it's part of their school day. That's key. The other thing that we've also decided is grade 7 remains in the prep school. We do it for different reasons, developmentally being one, but the second reason is because grade 7, when it's often in a high school, grade 7s are part of a primary school league. And when you're in high school, you don't want to play in the primary school league. So what happens is the children drop out of a particular sporting code. Not only is there a loss from them in terms of their development, but also for the school. So for our primary school, the grade 7s will remain in the primary school, and that is one of the reasons why. Okay, so that's great. Okay, I think the last question, because I am mindful of the time, there was a question about the completion of Rallim. So you can see it's a staggered rollout, but obviously, as I said in my intro, there's been great response to Rallim, and so we brought the build forward in terms of the second phase. So we're going to be building another building behind the tennis courts, okay, which will house 10, 11, and 12, and then obviously the completion of the additional fields, etc. And that's happening at about 2 years' time, because obviously with our current students moving into grade 8 and 9 next year, it's going to push through into that building for 2 years' time. So we're very excited, but just to digress a little bit, in terms of the phase 2 that we're building now, we've got such exciting plans in terms of some of the venues aligning with our particular approach. And that's when I reference the fabrication design space, the production unit, etc., etc. So we're very excited with the further development of our facilities in that respect. So I'm going to hand back to Kate. Thank you very much to the team for your input. Kate, over to you.
Awesome, thanks guys. And I think in this wonderfully tech advanced school, it's just amazing to see us doing this all online. I hope your internet is holding up and that the storm is not affecting you too much. And I think most importantly, you know, the voice of Rallim really comes from the children and the parents, their experience. And I think it's so amazing that we get to get that feedback today. So without further ado, I will hand you over to the kids themselves who are going to give us some of their feedback on their experience here at Rallim.
All right, morning team. We've got some Rallim lovelies here representing different areas of the school. You can see you've got Leah as our cultural expert, Connor as our sporting expert, Rebecca as our academic expert, and Skylar as our tech expert. But I must just say at the outset, we got a lot more experts than these four, okay? But we had a limitation here. So I'm going to hand over to the children and to the students. I think let's start with you, Rebecca.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Rebecca White. I am in grade 7, and I have been chosen to do academics. So with academics, we do the basic subjects like English, Afrikaans, math, science, history, and geography. We do art and drama, and we also have created a new subject, which is PBL, phenomenon-based learning. And we started this term, for the past 3 terms this year, doing our ideal school, which is where we create our ideal school in our imagination, in our mindset, what we think of if we were to create a school like Mrs. Miller, what we would put into it, what type of learning we would do, how we would set it out, and how we would make our team skills effective. I personally love my academics. I love all the teachers. They work so hard to make every single student do their best and create their imagination and their perfect skills. And we've been studying for our exams coming up, and the teachers have really been helping us. They've been giving us pointers, tips, key points to make us do well in our year. And are there any questions?
Thank you, Rebecca. I see that Miss F, our drama teacher, says amazing children right there, and we all could not agree more. You guys are amazing. And I loved the particular project you did about creating your own school, a school of the future, because the input, and Miss van der Westhuizen would come in here, has been absolutely phenomenal. And even with the creation of a uniform, which we wanted to place with you guys about, in terms of the secondary faculty, guys, we want you to have a bit of say into a slight change in the uniform, okay? So that the secondary faculty has a very distinctive feel. It's still part of the marriage of the uniform, but it's your input as students that we value so much. So those big questions that are posed all the time, you guys are doing an amazing job. I think let's hand it over. Oh, and by the way, as Rebecca said, you may ask questions of these students here at any time, and I'll make a note and then I'll pose them to them. All right. So let's hand over, I think, to Skylar, the tech expert.
Hi, I'm Skylar. Skylar van der Horst. I'm in grade 6, sorry. I've been here since 2019. And for tech, we use tech every day in every subject. And we mainly use it in robotics to code our things. And in my previous school, I'd never used an iPad. I'd never used any type of technology. And when I came to Rallim, I knew nothing, and now I'm
I'm using it every day, and it's quite confusing sometimes, but I have the teachers helping me all the time, and it's helpful, and I'm having a really good time using technology. Any questions?
Thank you, Scarla. Scarla is actually downplaying. She has a natural aptitude for tech. Okay, so I've been told, Scarla, so you're being very modest here. Okay, but what Scarla raises, which I think is key, we have students joining from all over, so many different schools. Okay, and some haven't had the opportunity prior to Rallim to being involved with tech in their learning, their curriculum. And so the question that is often asked is, will they cope? Will they adapt? Okay. And I always say, and this is so true, is that children have such a natural aptitude for tech. They're almost intuitive with the devices. And when we were in 2018 at the little house down the road, and it was Miss H and myself that were busy meeting with prospective families, it was one big room, and I would chat to mum and dad, and Miss H would obviously do a baseline assessment with the potential students. But just for fun, she'd introduce them to a bit of coding. And even if the child had never been exposed to it before, they would take to it so easily. And the parents used to always wonder, how do they do that? And it's literally this generation is intuitive with technology. That's just how it is. And so the adaptation and the ease and the transition is really quite seamless. And of course, we would work further with them if they needed help. So thank you, Scarlett. That was great. Don't you find, as we are chatting to these students, don't you think that they are so confident and so amazing? And they reflect our student body. And we're so proud of them. I must say. So I'm going to hand over to Connor, who represents sport. Like Rebecca's a natural academic and Scarlett's a natural tech. So Connor is a natural athlete and is very talented in that sphere. And Leah is also particularly talented in culture. We have many students that are, by the way. But anyway, over to you, Connor. Let us hear about the sport and your feelings.
Hi, my name's Connor. I am from the sports side of things. So what we offer at Rallim is we offer many different kinds of sports. We offer cross-country, athletics, rugby, soccer, cricket, tennis, and we do hockey, but hockey is in the progression because we are currently building a hockey astro on the one side of the school, so that will be ready by maybe beginning of next year, and we'll be able to use the hockey astro then. And for now, we do not have an aquatic center because we are still progressing to build up different types of sports and evaluate the sports based. So we will have an aquatic center in maybe next 2 years. And my opinion on the sports, I would say it's really nice and it's from my side, the coaches and everything, like they will really help you if you need help, if you're willing to put the time in and effort. So yeah, the coaches are really nice. The sporting facilities that we have for a school that's been open for 2 years is really incredible. So for my opinion, the sports is really nice and the facilities are great. So that's my opinion on the sports.
Thank you, Connor. And he's really added something incredible to the sporting department in terms of his sporting prowess. So before I hand over to Leah, I just want to answer the question about progression for the hubs. Yes, it's skills-based. So it is grouped according to ages, etc. if you're thinking about sport, okay? But we do, as with everything, we monitor the level at which a child is at. So when we referenced, for example, in the academic program with regards to the Accelerate component, whilst it starts from grade 3, there was a child last year, grade 2, that certainly needed to be a part of that Accelerate program for maths. And so we did adapt it according to this particular child's needs, and they actually were involved with the grade 3 maths. So the same principle obviously applies in terms of sporting and cultural prowess as well, and tech clearly too. So for example, with Skylar, okay, she's grade 6, okay, but she's representing tech, tech expert. And I know for the Lego Robotics League last year, we had a combination of children from different grades in the senior prep that took part in that. Okay, so it wasn't just, okay, only the grade 6s are allowed to do that or enter the particular championship. All right. Leah, take it away for culture. Also a very talented young lady with her singing, etc. So, Leah, over to you, my angel.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Leah Benny. I am a grade 7 pupil at Rallim and a leader in culture. Culture is very amazing. It has so many types of things we can learn. It has vocals, dancing, and so many different types of varieties. I am busy preparing for iStafford, virtual iStafford, and I personally think of this whole culture thing. It's amazing. It really opens me up. Like at my old school, I couldn't really express myself in singing. So when I came to Rallim, I was shocked. It was so awesome. I could do so many things to express myself, and it was really amazing.
Leah has the voice of an angel, by the way. So yes, so such a talented group of students here. Rebecca, I see there's one question for you, my angel, and that question was, can you please tell the audience a little bit more about PBL?
Sure. So, so PBL, again, it's phenomenon-based learning. So the basis of learning. So experiencing new things, talking or elaborating on different skills. So this quarter we have been focusing on the 21st century skills, sustainable communities and cities, zero hunger, and we've been focusing on if we were in charge of these 21st century skills, what would we do about that? So it's focusing on about the world, not just us as a person, but us as a school, as a community, coming together and thinking about what would we change about this world, what would we make, how would we make everybody feel happy and satisfied. And it's this, for the past 2 quarters, we have been collaborating with thought.africa.com. They're an organization which creates things for children who don't have education, who don't have wonderful things or experiences that we have. And we focused on how to make things out of recycled materials. So a lot of the grade 7s had amazing ideas, and Thought.Africa was a really wonderful organization to work with. We will be working with them again. We love them so much. Yeah, really amazing group of people coming together, and these children honestly can learn so much in our hands. We are helping them learn things that you can just make out of recycled materials. They don't have iPads like we have, but we can make them happy and satisfied. And when I came to Rallim last year, I had never had an iPad before, and I'd never done modern learning. So when I came to Rallim, I was very confused, but Mrs. Miller and the staff and the edumentors taught me things. They helped me. Our IT department is very helpful with our iPads. And there's so many things that you can do on an iPad that I never knew you could. And we use very different apps for different subjects. And my PBL teacher, Ms. van der Westhuizen, and most of the grade 7s, we love using Canva. And for PBL, we create posters, we create different slides for Thought.Africa and all those things.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was excellent. Rebecca is really a true academic as well. So lovely representative. And I think that with this inquiry-based approach in terms of real-world questions that Rebecca's talking about, the grade 7s were thrust into that when lockdown began in Q2. And so they couldn't just physically run to their edumentor, their teacher, and ask for help. And I know that it was, wow, pretty hair-raising, guys, if I remember correctly, in the beginning. They have shown such incredible progress, and they're showing such independence and a sense of responsibility and accountability for their own learning. So we're incredibly proud of where these children are heading in terms of the academic progress. So well done. And I'm going to hand over back to Kate, but I want to thank Mark for his kind offer of his friends from the national water polo team in Netherlands, offering to help us coach in the summer. Mark, be careful what you offer, because we take you up on it here. We're very much a Rallim community. We see our parents and extensions of the Rallim family, the friends, as resources, and we tap into them, as you can see from Kate, who's busy hosting and emceeing this for us today. So thank you for that. But finally, I want to just thank our 4 students here for representing the student body. I'm sure you all agree, I can see from the comments that they've acquitted themselves so well. They are confident, they are eloquent, they are articulate, and they really are a true reflection of Rallim, and they are role models for Rallim, I think. So thank you, guys. You were amazing. I'm going to hand back to Kate. Thank you.
Thanks, Colleen. And I reiterate that. I think they did so well. They can be so proud of themselves. It's quite daunting, I should know, to talk on an online day like this. So well done, guys. You spoke so amazingly about the school, and you came across amazingly. So well done. Thank you. And I think there's only one more group of people to hear from, really, in their experience. And I think the comments today have really shown you what an amazing group of parents we have at the school, and how everyone is so supportive. There's no cliques, there's no weirdness, there's, everyone is friendly, and I do miss the mornings walking in and seeing all the lovely faces of the other parents and smiles and greets in the morning. But I think the best thing to do now is to hear from those parents in the school.
Rallim is not only a school, it's a family. It's a place where your child can feel safe and feel at home. We feel very secure sending our kid here, and he comes home every day happy and fulfilled and very, very confident. The school is just beautifully built. The teachers are spectacular. We are very, very proud to be part of this lovely little community, and looking forward to only great things in the future.
I am continually impressed with the way that Rallim just continues to raise the bar in terms of excellence, whether it be the small day-to-day of the running of the school to the big events. It's so clear that everybody is passionate, and excellence continues to be raised.
We're very happy to be here in Rallim. As a parent to our son, he's going here for the last year. We're seeing a big change in him in terms of his development. We can see his confidence grow. He loves to go to school, and he loves to be part of the school. He always talk about his friends and about his teachers, and we're seeing a great confidence in him. We love the order and the structure that the school have, and we're very happy to be a part of this family in this community.
How do I feel about Rallim? Well, I joined Rallim about a year and a half ago with my kids. I absolutely love Rallim. When we joined, there was about 200 kids here. The thing that impressed me more than anything else is when I walk into this front door, they greet me, my kids, my siblings, everybody by first name. I was absolutely bowled over. This is a family community. I absolutely love the family community. The education level that is given here is absolutely awesome. My kids are being taught something that is getting them ready for the future. Subjects that I don't even know about, coding, robotics, an educational level that bowls me right off my feet. That's why I'm part of the Rallim family. I love Rallim.
I am the father of Langeli Shenkosi, a 000, a student at Rallim. She really loves this place. Rallim her grade has helped her greatly in her confidence She looks forward to her teacher, all the activities that she does in class. And we are very happy that she is more confident and has grown to a wonderful, talkative student. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Gary. I'm a dad here at Rallim. What a great school, you know, really heard about it, came here, really are, to coin a phrase, redefining education. The kids are really enhanced. Both my kids have loved it. They've come from a previous private school, really are flourishing, enjoying the environment. Great on the technology side, especially now in lockdown. Rallim's been preparing for this for ever since Colleen came up with this wonderful brainchild. It really is a great concept. As I say, they've been preparing for COVID and lockdown, working from home, technology. It just really is a cut above the rest. My kids are happy, flourishing, and I highly recommend the school to anybody.
Hi, my name is Lalita. I've chosen Rallim because of the amazing community, and my kids absolutely love it here. And I just think they are the most amazing teachers. They go the extra mile for the kids, and the school is just wonderful.
Oh, if there's one tough group of people to please, it's parents, right? I don't think it's an easy shout. So the school, really, that is just testament to it, and all of the comments today. We really are an amazing family here, and it's been a fantastic day. I think this has been revolutionary. I've loved it. I've loved to hear from all of you and all of the people online as well. It's been a really wonderful day. We're going to leave you with one more nugget of brilliance. But just want to thank everybody involved, everyone behind the scenes, obviously Colleen and all of the team and edumentors here. We really hope that you can join us here at Rallim, and we're going to leave you with one final beautiful piece, which is a nice collab between our cultural genius, Michelangelo, and Arno Parsons. So yeah, enjoy and have a wonderful Saturday.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much for having me. I'm going to try this song that I wrote with Michelangelo, the Rallim song. Let's check this out. I'm going to leave you with this gem. Very proud to be part of this, building of something new, something interesting, something for the future generations. Thank you very much, Rallim. In a place where our minds collide, search for answers to be told, that the world we see, that little me has a story to be told. Under city trees where the dreams was born, stood a building strong. Through the looking glass where the future holds, breaks a youthful dawn. Rallim, we are bold. We were young inventors. Celebrate, celebrate, our uniqueness is great. Who are you? Yeah, Rallim, we are bold. We are young inventors. Celebrate, celebrate, your uniqueness is great. Yeah, who are you? Who are you? May I go get a dream, stay forever young, through our love to learn. With our open hearts and our open minds, in our city garden and in the sun. So shake off the sleep and break down the walls and redesign our minds. As we educate till the boundaries break, fulfill our future goals. Rallim, we are young. We are young inventors. Celebrate, celebrate, our uniqueness is great. Who are you? Rallim, we are bold. Yeah, we are young inventors.
I celebrate, celebrate, our uniqueness is great. Yeah, who are you? Who are we? Our need to succeed through knowledge we bring. Embrace our hearts of gold as we stamp our feet through adventures lead. Rallim, you're our home. In a place of work where our minds collide, search answers to be told. That the world I see, that little me has a story to be told. Under city trees where our dreams was born, stood a building so strong. Through the looking glass, what the future holds breaks the youthful dawn. Rallim, we are bold, we are young inventors. Celebrate, celebrate, your uniqueness is great. Now who are you? Rallim, we are bold, we are young inventors. Celebrate, celebrate, your uniqueness is great. Who are you? Who are we? Who are you? Who are we? Who are you? Rallim. Cheers, Rallim!
Be safe, keep your sanity, and to all the kids out there, teach your children, teach your parents how to do your homework. Thank you very much. Bye.